JKB back with another episode. Today on the show I'm reviewing something that's pretty cool. It's actually a battery case for the Nintendo Switch. This is made by Nesjent. They sent it over for a review. It comes in this fancy little box with this red slip over cover. That, you don't care about this stuff. You care about the case itself. Well, here's my Switch with the case on it. As you can tell, it's not really taking up that much room, and the back of it is actually pretty slim. I wouldn't say that it doubles the size of the Switch, it's just under that. And in terms of how much it weighs, it's not that bad, to be honest, because the fact of the matter is, the battery that's already in the Switch isn't spectacular. So I did some tests, and we'll go over this and talk about like how good it really is. Now, for Breath of the Wild, usually you get about 3 hours without the case on it. With the case on it, you're going to get about 7 and a half, 7. It depends what you're doing with the Switch, to be honest here. So it almost doubles the battery life of the Switch itself. So Super Mario Odyssey, it does about 7.5 hours, which is spectacular for the Switch on the go. And for something like this, that's only $44 US, that fits the design of the Switch. It does everything you need it to do for the Switch. It's kind of a really good steal. The back of the case also has its extra little kickstand that you can kick out and put down on the desk. So if you want to play in tabletop mode with your friends, you're going to be able to double the length of the system battery and also play wherever you want. So this case is really, really cool. I like the design of how it simply pops off like this, and then you could take your Switch out like so. Oh, I'm kidding around. It comes out easy. There you go. So it's out. I'm kidding. So it goes in and out very easily. The case itself also has a couple of features that you don't expect. If you're a fan of Apple, it has an actual Apple plug-in for your Apple devices, so you don't have to bring extra cords around. So it's able to charge your cell phones, but also play with the Switch. So that's kind of cool. So if you run out of battery on your phone, you can pop this thing off and plug your battery in. Now, I do know for a fact you can't really do those things together. Like, for instance, you can't play the Switch and charge your phone at the same time due to some limitations in, obviously, how it's sending power out. But, not a lot of people are going to want to be doing that anyways. That's the only, if you want to call it a negative, but that's not what they really went for here. They went for a slim design that was going to really fit into the whole vibe of the Switch. They could have went thicker than this, but I really do feel like at that point, you'd be kind of like losing something with the Switch. You kind of want this to just go onto the back, feel like it belongs there, and it just simply goes in and you lock it in place. You hear it click in and it's on. It's that simple. On the back, you have an indication of how much juice is left on here. It includes a mini USB charge port, cable, I should say, for the charge port. And you charge it just before you're heading out. In terms of like all of the accessibility, you can get into everything perfect. The card slot opens up. You've got the fan holes that are cut in there perfect, especially on the back, which is ultra important for the Switch. So, in closing, to make this a short review, I really do recommend this case. It also stands up on its own if you really wanted to. I wouldn't really recommend doing that. I'd always put the kickstand out, but having the included kickstand is also a nice little treat. So $44. I think it's on Amazon. I'll link it in the underbar below. I want to thank them for sending it over. Things like this, I do highly recommend for your Switch, especially if you're going to be playing it on the bus or on the way to work. This is a cool case. And lastly, I'll mention the build quality. It's pretty solid. It feels like they have used a top tier plastic that's not going to crack or it's not going to wear out. And in terms of like scuff marks and stuff, it feels like heavy duty. It doesn't feel like a cheap plastic. So thank you so much for watching. I highly recommend this, and I'll see you on the next episode of JKB.